God, Joe. Ugh.
All shenanigans.
That's fine.
This is what we do.
Well, you can keep that for the bloopers. The people love the bloopers.
People love
Give
the
the people
bloopers.
what they want. That's
Give
good.
the people what you should start the show for a change. I'm always starting the show. You should do it.
Oh, shut up.
I think you should.
That's
You
the
should
big
look at that
shoes.
camera.
This
or
one?
let's look
Now,
at the,
here's my thing. I always look at the screen, and I'm not supposed to look at the screen. I'm supposed to look at the camera, correct?
supposed to look at the camera.
Okay.
The screen is there just to give you an idea.
Because
of
I'm
what
so
the
vain,
show
I
is.
just keep looking at myself. Okay. Hi, guys.
Wait, hold up.
Ugh, Joe, I was going to start the show. Now that you're right there, just get your hey, guys.
This is gonna be that next. People did love that
They
New Year's
did
blooper reel.
love that. Was great. That was perfect.
I love. It's one of my favorite things.
Yeah, I love bloopers. Anyway, hi
Okay.
guys. This is if
Take
you would have
Take two.
the coffee. You think I'd be awake? All right,
Yeah,
Hi.
Nutella lattes.
Nutella lattes. This is the show where we talk about Nutella lattes, also known as If You Would Have Told Me. My name's Emily Page.
I'm Joe Fernandes.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yes.
I did it.
You did. Was that the first one show you've
I don't know.
Because I remember there was one time, I think it was part of that blooper reel, like, you open this one, I'll open the next one. And
then
I
I
don't
was
think the next one ever came.
No, this is the next one.
This is the next one.
The next one.
Yes. And so we're back. We got some news stories. We got some improv. We're gonna do whatever.
I feel like we'll probably start with news stories because here's the thing. We just talked about our personal lives for like an hour off camera.
Oh yeah, we're done.
So we're
personal
done.
lifing.
We're all caught up.
Yeah, we're all caught up personal life.
Right.
Yeah, if we think of any other personal life thing, it'll be saved for the ends of the episode.
Absolutely.
Possibly.
Start with that article you sent me.
All right,
this is really, I don't know how I feel about it. I have mixed. I want to say it's really good, but like in like a dark way.
I just couldn't
You'll
believe it when I
understand.
saw the
Yeah,
headline.
right.
It just blew me away. I'm like, this can't be real. The headline is, toddlers played with dead grandpa's ashes and may have eaten them. Shocked mom says, quote, the boys got pawpaw.
I forgot about the last part.
And then the first line is actually funny. It goes,
Oh, no.
ashes, we all chow down. Which is actually kind of
That's
funny.
fantastic.
A Colorado mom was appalled after discovering that her sons might have eaten their grandfather's ashes. It's actually, there's TikTok videos about it.
Oh boy.
The boys got pawpaw, Monica Lang explained in the clip. The single mother of three claimed she had left her two toddlers, ages 3 and 2, alone for a moment in early January so she could use the bathroom while prepping for a birthday party.
We've all been there though. Like as a single mom, I will tell you that sometimes you have to leave them alone.
Yeah.
I, however, do not have ashes of relatives lying around my house.
Not a lot of urns.
Not a lot of urns.
But, you would, yeah. You would think even they would not
Put
even
that like
want
on a
to.
high counter
Yeah.
or
Maybe all three of them. Maybe one climbed on one's shoulders. Be like, let's get pawpaw.
it would be worse if they knew what it was. You think they knew?
I don't know. We're going to find
All
out.
right, let's go.
Sometimes I don't like to fully read these news stories. I like to get them live in the moment.
Sometimes I just read the headline, and by sometimes I mean all the time. All the time.
Yeah. You guys think we research? They're probably like, we know you don't. We're 8 episodes in, and we know the
We
research
know
is
you do
limited.
nothing.
Yeah, if you would have told me you guys researched.
We're shocking. Okay. Mom's in the bathroom.
Yeah. Okay. The Coloradan was only there for several minutes, but when she returned, she saw that the boys were playing in what looked like white dirt. During the 4 minutes she'd been gone, the two had managed to smear the soot all over their faces, bodies, and floor. I was like, where'd this dirt come from? Recalled as she vacuumed up the mess.
Oh, no.
Then, days later, she discovered the empty container that had housed their grandfather's ashes, and the horrifying truth dawned on her. The dirt was his cremated remains. So she just didn't even
That's
know
her dad? She vacuumed up her dad?
Yeah. They got him, and they dumped him out all over my carpet. And I didn't realize it was Pawpaw, and I vacuumed him up.
But I have so many questions.
She speculated that the tiny terrors may have engaged in the post-mortem cannibalism, claiming they may have eaten some of them too.
What vocabulary, Joe? Hold on. Did they call them tiny terrorists?
Yeah, tiny terrors.
Oh, it's like, what is the vocabulary?
Yeah. But they may have eaten some of him too, she said, because one of them had the cap in his mouth.
Kids eat everything.
The scene evoked the similar horror of the cat using grandma's ashes as a litter box in Ben Stiller's movie, blah, blah, blah. As for how her children accessed the ashes, Paw Paw was on a shelf, out of their reach, but they're climbers. They climbed their little way up and got a hold of him. She speculated the little ashes then used the little
ashes.
ash holes. She put ash hole.
Very clever.
I'm sure she didn't say that.
Right.
That's the writer.
The writer.
It's so witty. I'm actually cutting that out. Use their mouths to unscrew the cap. They're just getting into everything these days.
They need to start making urns childproof.
She said Paw Paw would have seen childproof urns. Would you like a childproof urn or just regular urn? Be like, let me think about my kids. You know what?
Childproof.
I need some childproof urns.
That urn.
You just never know.
You don't?
She thinks Paw Paw would have seen a humor.
Oh, 100%.
Actually, by contrast, Paw Paw would have seen a humor in her son's remains desecration, long claimed.
The vocabulary in this is too much. Writing.
Would he have found this story funny? Absolutely. He would have definitely gotten a kick out of this. I believe that.
Yeah. My dad, I'm trying to think, not that I want to think about this, but like my dad would find that funny.
My father too.
Yeah,
that's 100%. What I think about. But like the fact that these kids, I don't know. I find it so funny that they ate it. First off, like
kids will put anything in their mouth,
including Paw Paw's ashes,
including Paw Paw. Like you have to really childproof a house, an apartment. It sounds like she did, but like, I'll give you an example. My daughter is 6 now. She was maybe like 5, maybe 4.5. And I took a shower and I came out and she's in the kitchen with scissors in her hand. Like you can't leave them alone for like any amount of time.
Why do I always got to find the worst case scenario?
What the hell are you doing? Right.
See, Paw Paw's ashes weren't like necessarily an urn. It was a clear, like, crucifix thing, so you can actually see that they're ashes. So those kids were,
but they don't know what that is.
Also, Paw Paw on it.
They can't read. Also, is that written in Sharpie marker?
Paw Paw is he's in a plastic.
It looks like a bubble container.
It's a bubble container written in Sharpie.
All I'm going to say is the only ashes I have in my apartment are my cat, my cat that passed away. We got her cremated and I have her ashes.
Yeah.
They're like in a box in my closet in my room. Like, I should probably put them somewhere, but like, where? You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And so my daughter, because she would get to them and not eat them because she's older, but definitely open them up to look. You know what I mean?
Spread a little around.
But they are in a nicer urn than Paw Paw.
Well,
Paw Paw's not in the urn anymore.
No. Eating Paw Paw. And I like how they made it like it's cannibalism.
That was funny. That was a good word choice.
Yeah.
Clever to the writer.
But
we got a little carried away with the SAT words at the end.
Yeah. Especially for the New York Post. It's like, come on, we know you're in bad.
Come on, guys. We don't need.
We get it.
We get you.
We get you. We know what you really. But I like that she vacuumed him up.
I think that's very funny. I think it's very funny that she didn't realize what it was.
Right. Now, I mean...
Like, was the urn... Did they put the urn back? Because I was imagining that it would still be on the floor. So how do you not know? You see the dust, you see your kids are dirty, and you see the urn on the floor. How do you not put those clues together?
For days. Yeah, so they must have climbed and put it back or hid it or something. See, that's how maybe I think they kind of knew it was Paw Paw. They were like, yo...
We probably weren't supposed to touch this.
Probably weren't supposed to touch this. Right. It's all over. It's in our mouth. Because I'm thinking they got the cap off in their mouth. It's in their mouth. It's all over.
Yep.
They don't know what to do. And then she vacuumed him up. And then days later was like, where's Paw Paw?
I can't even imagine.
I remember when we got my father's remains.
Did you also vacuum them up?
I didn't vacuum them up, but I was like, I remember looking at it and I'm like, is it really his? Is it really his ashes? Or like, could it be like if someone was there like the day before, like a little bit of whoever? Like, what if it's?
I don't know. And like, I don't really always like to think about like this, but like, I don't know what I would prefer. Because like, then if you're buried, then I'm like, well, what's happening in the ground?
I can't. I'm too claustrophobic. I can't be.
You'll be dead.
I know, but still, I don't. I've seen enough horror movies where.
My dad keeps telling me, he keeps saying, I don't want to talk about, well, I guess now I have to. So my dad's always like, tells my grandparents, because my grandparents want to be cremated, that he's like, I'm going to find you guys the nicest coffee cans to put the ashes in the coffee. Like, Dad, you can't say that they think it's funny. Like, we have a good sense of humor. And my dad keeps telling me, instead of me putting him in a home, he goes, Emily, when it comes time, pillow over my head.
That's what my dad used to say, take me in the woods.
You're really good at it. He was a hunter.
He was a hunter. That's
so
what
he wants to go out the way he enjoyed.
Yeah, he wants to become the hunted.
That's the most dangerous game. You ever read that story?
No.
In high school? Oh, you've never read the most dangerous
game? I did
game?
a lot of reading in high school. I did a lot of partying.
You probably were supposed to read the most dangerous game.
I'm sure.
Look it up later. I don't want to spoil it for you.
One thing I remember about high school is at the end of the year when you got to get your books out of the locker to return them. Mine had a fresh crack like it's never been opened. There was a lot
You're
of
like, here, you're still
books.
in plastic.
Yeah. You didn't use this, did you? What made you? Well,
and the town you grew up in has an excellent school system.
Yeah, I did enough to get by.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I remember my father going to my senior year saying, if you let my son graduate, I'll sue you. He's done nothing. I'm like, Dad.
How about your brother? Was he a good student? Or is the same worse than you?
My older brother.
There's two of you, right?
Three of us.
There's another one.
Yeah, because my mother got remarried.
Oh, that's right.
And had my brother Chris. He was good in school. He was good in sports or football. But me and my brother Mike, like Chris did good enough in school.
Yeah.
That like, he could do his sports and he went to, he's a teacher now, actually. He's a gym teacher in East Brunswick, him and his wife.
Oh, very cool.
And my brother Mike's me and my brother were both very smart, but we were just so bored with whatever they were teaching us.
Right.
Like once I got to college, I was Dean's List and like studying all the time. I think the first time I studied was college.
Yeah.
So I remember like asking somebody, I forgot. I go, man, I never studied. Like read the book. So I read it, and when I went to the test and knew all the answers, I'm like, it was like a spiritual awakening. I'm like,
wow,
oh, dude, I knew the answers.
But I feel like college is like that. Like I was a good student in high school. I was like an AP and honors kids, but I was a procrastinator, and I could get away with it for the most part because I was okay with getting B's. I wasn't like I need an A. Like I was like I'm already taking honors classes, so if I get a B in an honors class, it's like an A in a regular class. That's how my brain works.
Yeah.
And I did fine. And then my mom was worried about me when I went to college. She goes, I'm not going to be able to remind you. I'm not going to be able to remind you to study. Do this, do that. She's like, the first time she came to visit me at college, I had Post-it notes all over my dorm room. And they were all like, this is due this day. Do this way. And she's like, I knew you would be fine. I found my own system. And I still do that to this day. There's Post-it notes all over everything.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you find your way.
You find your way.
So I was a good writer. So even classes I wasn't good in, I can
BS your way.
BS my way. Like I remember, like even like in history classes, I loved history depending on a professor. Mm-hmm. But like if I had to write, he'd be like, "You're so like," he's like, "You're pretty good at writing BS." So he would give me like whatever. Yep. A close enough grade where I wasn't failing. Right. Keep me on the dean's list.
I had the longest, so I was a literature major, and you would think, oh, you had to write a lot of papers and read a lot. And like, I didn't do half the reading, let's be honest. Like, I can't read 5 books in a week. I'm not going to do it. So I don't do any of them. Yeah. I don't read any of them. But I remember the longest paper I had to write in college was a 10-page paper, which isn't even bad, but that for a history class. Okay. I had to read it on Queen Elizabeth.
All right.
That was the longest paper in my whole career. I took a Shakespeare class, and the professor would only let us write 2 pages. And anything over 2 pages, he would rip off and not read. It's almost harder as a lit major to condense your writing. He didn't want any fluff, like you were just talking about. He's like, no fluff. I want right to the point with citations, with proving. And I was like, 2 pages? Yep. We read a play, 2-page paper. Double spaced, the whole 9. The whole 9.
Yeah.
It was crazy. But it made me a more condensed writer.
Yep. Yeah.
Which was good. That's why my jokes are so.
Boom, boom, boom. Boom, brevity.
Boom, boom, boom. Yep.
I love writing.
I do too.
I write so much and no one reads it. It's like I have like so many files of things I've written.
Yeah.
Because I read this book. There's a guy, Stephen Pressfield, who I really like. I read his book, War of Art. And then he has another book I like, Nobody Wants to Read Your SHIT.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's not necessarily true, but it's like it gave me a lot of the basis of like to stop talking about writing.
Yeah.
And just write, because sometimes you'll talk too much and not do the writing. Mm. So like and like letting someone read your stuff sometimes can only like kind of like hurt you and like but like sometimes you want people to read it, you know what I mean? But then I'm like, 100%. I feel like I'm imposing on people, like like read my stuff.
I feel the same way. Like when I self-published my poetry last year, I did it because I had this journal of poetry just lying around since high school and college. And I was like, I'm just going to do it for me. But then telling people that I did it, it felt weird. Like I was like, you don't have, people are like, oh, I bought it. I'm like, you didn't have to buy it. They're like, no, I want to. I'm like, you didn't have to buy it. Like, you know what I mean? And I cleaned out my apartment the other day. I found 3 more journals full of writing. Yeah. And I'm going to sit and like go, I don't even remember half the stuff that's in these notebooks. But I love writing. It's just so therapeutic.
Oh, me too. I love like, actually, I found a notebook from when I got clean.
Oh, wow.
So it was like my first sponsor had me like do all this writing, and I haven't read it yet, but I'm really interested to see who I was.
You should do it live on the podcast.
Hell no.
Now, were you a writer before you got clean? Or did getting clean kind of help you find your voice? Yes.
Getting clean. Okay. Yeah, because
it would be interesting to read if you wrote before you were clean and then you're writing after.
I was a lost boy before that. I was a musician. I would write lyrics.
Okay.
Bad lyrics. You know,
angsty.
When you're young, you're very melodramatic and just very like
the world is ending.
I mean, it's just, and you don't have enough life experience.
Right.
So you're like writing like people you like.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And then but I was always creative. So I always like I remember like even when I took like silk screening in high school, I made what?
What's that?
That's how you like that thing on your shirt that's silk screened on there. Like you could put stuff on shirts. You
can make us t-shirts, Joe?
I can make us
Can you make us podcast t-shirts, Joe?
I could if I had the silk screening equipment, but we are gonna get podcast t-shirts, I'm telling you.
We should get stickers.
Stickers is a must. We have to get promo out there. We really gotta get our stuff
cellos.
out there. Like with cellos.
No, we were gonna think of something else. Yeah.
Okay. But I remember loving that. Like I would make concert t-shirts and then go sell them at
That's
concerts
awesome.
at Giant Stadium.
Yeah, so like creativity
or like I remember like pottery class, like anything where I was making something just was really. I think that's why I didn't like school when I was younger, because I didn't get enough of that.
Right.
Like I would have been great if there was an art school in my area.
Yeah.
That was never even offered.
There's so many more choices nowadays. It's great. Like even like electives in schools, I feel like they give kids way more opportunities because they realize that like not all kids are academic. There's other strengths. Like the amount of kids I have taking wood shop because they're good with their hands, or they take like the VOTEC programs to do like art or something like the graphic design, right?
Yeah.
Those were not offered. They were offered when I was in high school.
They were offered, but it was very like
slim.
Very slim.
Selective.
Yeah, it was. It just wasn't. It was. I really would have thrived, if because like once I got into, I originally went to college. I don't know did we ever talk about this? I don't know if I'm repeating on podcast.
I don't think so.
Like
you went to college? No, I don't know if we're talking to.
I originally went to Brookdale.
Okay.
For guitar, I was taking jazz guitar. And
you were going to be a guitar major at Brookdale?
Well, because I was.
You could be a guitar major.
It was guitar and audio recording.
Oh, okay.
And because at the I
did not talk about this, by the way, on the podcast. This is all news to me.
I'm not sure, I was good.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, but I was in bands. Guitar was life for me. So I was like, you know what? Worst case scenario, I become a music teacher. But
that's not a bad gig.
So I said, so I went, took guitar. I was taking guitar classes, taking music recording, and I liked it, but I was, at that time in my 20s, more of like a rocker. I didn't love the study of music as much.
Right. You just wanted
Even
to
though
play.
I wanted to play. I mean, I did it,
Right.
but it was that level of it wasn't in my heart. I didn't think that at the time. That wasn't
No,
like
you
what
were
I was
just like,
thinking
this
at
is
the
boring.
time.
I don't want to do
I was
this.
like, this is cool. This is good, but I like nothing else.
Right.
So it was the thing I liked the most. And then I had to take like a TV course as part of the curriculum and film stuff and write, and I just got it.
Yeah.
Like it's like when you like for lack of a better term, like you like recognize like this God-given talent, like where it was like it just made sense to me. Like I understood everything right away. Like, and I just loved it because I remember telling my dad, I'm like, listen, all I want to do is make money being creative and not feel like I work for a living.
Right.
That was really
But
my
you found
goal.
the perfect job for you.
Yeah, and then I went off to William Patterson, studied film, and then boom, boom, boom.
You were up north by me too.
Yeah,
'Cause I went to Ramapo.
Okay. Yeah, I looked at Ramapo, but I didn't like it. No.
It's in the middle of nowhere. It's a beautiful campus, but it's like there's nothing going on.
William Patterson had a better like film program and everything.
Yeah.
But, you know, I missed school like when I left because I did enjoy like the whole aspect of it. And
I wish I would have done college differently a little bit. I had a great college experience, and I was one of the lucky ones that like I went in knowing what I wanted to do, and I still like last year I kind of went through a thing with teaching where I was like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore, but I found my love for it again. But so I don't ever feel like there's been years where I feel like it's work. But then like there's years like this year where I'm like, this is the best job in the world.
yeah.
But I had a teacher that made me I loved writing and like you, but I was like, what do I do with that?
Right.
And then she was such a great teacher. And I was like, I want to do what she does. Cause if I can inspire any child the way like she had inspired me, like I'll do that. And then it's like 13 years later and like I'm still teaching. I did so I taught regular English for years. And then 3 years ago, I went back, 3 years ago, I went back to school to get my ESL cert. So then I was going to grad school to do that. And now I teach ESL.
So you got a graduate degree?
No, I had to take graduate classes.
Gotcha.
So it's like teaching is like you have to have a certain amount of credits.
Yeah.
So like I had to take 15 credits to get the certification added on to mine. So I have 15 credits towards my master's.
Okay.
And then I debated continuing, but like teaching you don't really need a master's to teach. The pay increase wouldn't like matter.
Right.
I'd have to dish out way too much money. And like I can do the same job with a bachelor's degree plus 15.
Yeah.
And but I absolutely love teaching ESL. And like I had to take linguistics, like the study of languages and stuff. And that was so interesting to me.
Yeah.
So interesting.
There's that comic Mike Kaplan who was like a linguist guy.
Really?
So if you listen to his material, it's all that sort of like word play.
I would have to.
You never heard of him?
No, I think I have, but I never.
He changed his name Mike to MYQ.
Oh yes, I know exactly who you're
his
talking
stuff's
to.
like all like very word play because he was into all that.
It's
and
so interesting.
It's so original and really good. Like his stuff. I think you'd get it.
Well, I really believe I'm such a nerd with like. I believe in the power of words, and I used to love I love reading like the classics and analyzing it. Like, why did the author choose the curtains to be red, right? And people are like, no one cares. I'm like, no, I do, and like I want to figure it out. I love that stuff.
Yeah, that's how I was with film.
Yeah,
like my final thesis was about Alfred Hitchcock and his influence on filmmaking, and like I have a book I got Quentin Tarantino wrote called. I don't know. Anyway, it's about
called something.
It's a cinema something.
Okay.
So he just puts out all his favorite movies. He talks about them, like breaks them down.
Awesome.
So what I do, because there's a lot of them are older movies, so I read the book and then I go watch the movie, and that's this is what I've been doing slowly.
I love that
over time because I love I love analyzing and breaking down because it also helps me like. When I write my short films and stuff like that.
Well, that's how I watch comedy now. I can't watch a stand-up special without analyzing it now that I'm in comedy. You can't at all. You're like, oh, I like that, or oh, I would have done this differently, or it gives you an idea for your own joke. Like, well, I used to do slam poetry before I did comedy.
Okay.
I love slam. I am a big poetry fanatic.
I got a funny story. Tell me about it. I'll tell you.
Oh boy, I love poetry. So I think that's where I think writing poetry and doing slam, it helped me bridge into comedy so easily.
Yeah.
Because it's all performative.
Sure.
It's all a lot of fun.
Why'd you get out of slam poetry?
I don't know. I have
Just kinda
slammed
faded out?
since comedy. Yeah, it faded out. I think, I don't know. That's a great question.
Yeah. When I first started comedy, I would perform a lot at poetry open
Yeah.
mics. It was great because I was like different than everything there. And actually, I'll play it for you between episodes. Maybe I'll
Can't
put
wait.
it in the podcast.
Okay.
At this point, I'll cut it in. I was at this. There used to be this open mic called Late Night Series at Mercer County College. It'd be like 10 o'clock at night every Friday night, and I would go out there all the time. And then I used to watch all these poets, and I loved it. And then so I came one week because they'd be like, they have poetry, music, comedy, and other stuff.
Okay.
That's what they would do. So then I came one week and I was on the list, and then I go, I'm not doing comedy this week. Sort of I am. I go, I'm doing poetry.
Love it.
And they all knew me because I've been going there for like 6
Right.
months, and they're like, Joe's gonna do poetry. So I wrote a poem, like a comic's take on slam poetry.
Okay.
So I wrote a poem.
Was it? Oh, I bet it's so good.
I mean, I can play it for you now, and
Do
then
you
we can
want
pop
to?
it in.
Okay.
And pop it in. Let me. I didn't know if somebody was recording it because I wasn't recording my stuff.
You should go up
It's
on
called A
stage at
Comic
Uncle
Writes-
Vinny's and just do this one time.
It's called "A Comic Writes a Poem."
Okay.
Let
Oh
me
my God,
see.
I'm so excited.
And I got some good reaction.
I'll
Now, obviously, the audios. I think I haven't. Back in the early YouTube days, I used to put intros on my videos, so we have to sit through that.
Oh, hold on.
Hey, how's it going? I wanted to preview
I thought it was
this,
gonna be a
audio
song.
clip that I'm posting for you. It's something I found that I forgot that I had.
I had to explain
It's a
it.
clip of like back in
You
the
didn't
beginning
have
when
to
I was first
explain
doing
it.
comedy. I used to go to a lot of poetry open mics and music open mics to work on
You have
material.
339 views.
And after hearing a lot of poetry from all these
15
poets,
years?
I figured I would try it and write a poem. So it's kind of like my homage to slam poetry. So somebody in the crowd recorded it and sent it to me. So the audio's a little rough, but you can hear what I'm saying. So check it out. Let me know what you think of it. And please comment below. Let me know your thoughts.
Did anyone comment below?
Thank you.
No, on Facebook they did.
You guys, I learned a lot watching you guys. I never wrote a poem before, so I learned a lot watching people. So, it's called, A Comic Writes a Poem.
Oh, God.
I listen to the poets here at LNS, and I must attest, they do impress. But nevertheless, I feel possessed to write my own poetic mess. From what I've learned from those of you with success. As I pop my peas for my people, I pontificate. I defecate my words on the poo-poo plate of your mind. This ain't funny, honey. Not like no Easter bunny when it's sunny. You think my rhyming skills can show me some easy money? I need another word to finish my blurb. Something superb to add to this poetic piece of turd. As luck would have it, my mind just grabbed it. I'm feeling elation with my creation. As my gyration causes my mutation. And my causation for my dehydration. Cause I'm a goofy word assassin. So you better stop then, cause I'm keeping it real. So don't slip on my banana peel. Cause I got universal appeal like an Alaskan fur seal. Sitting shotgun on a Ferris wheel.
That's great. Is that the end?
That was the end.
That's great. I will give you $10 if next time you're at Uncle Vinny's headlining, you start your set with that.
I'd have to dig it up and read from the paper for
That's
sure.
fine, do it.
So I remember writing that, and I was like, there was this girl that was a poet that I kept texting her the lines that I was doing because I always felt that poets always used any words with Asian in it.
They do.
Vibration. So I just did that whole section
That's
like
great.
that. And then like assassin, I've heard a lot. I was using all these words that I've heard a million times.
You should do that again. You should go sit into some. There's like poet events all over Jersey. You should go and just like hang out in the back and take notes and come up with a new.
Yeah, I've gone to spoken. A couple of years ago, I went to a spoken word open mic and read one of my stories.
I love those things
to them, and
it's different than comedy. It feels different.
Yeah, I got laughs, but I was nervous because I can't.
Yes.
I'm reading from the page,
Yeah.
and I'm not hitting I'm not performing.
It's a different type of performance. I don't know. It feels like for me, when I perform poetry, I feel like it heals a different part of my soul than comedy.
Yeah,
If that makes sense. Because I feel like I don't know.
Do you still write a lot of poetry, or
Not
like
as
after you wrote your book, did you?
I haven't. I have some ideas. I would love to write like short stories or like a novel or something based on like my life experiences. Now that I feel like I've experienced more of life, but I don't give myself credit with it. Like I always say I don't think I can do it. But I bet you if I like actually sat down and focused, I could do it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, who wants to hear about my life? But it'd be fiction. I wouldn't read but
Yeah.
I've had some pretty cool stuff and pretty insane stuff happen to me throughout the last 30-something years. I'm like, I could write about it.
Sure.
It's all exaggeration. You take something and you exaggerate. It's just like comedy.
Right.
You take something true, you exaggerate it,
Yeah, and sometimes it's a conglomerate of different
right.
aspects of your life
Right.
into like one character. I should probably let you read some of my stuff because I trust you to like.
We should do a writing group.
Sure.
Because there's only certain people that I can write with. Like I dated a comic and we could not write together because we had very different styles. But then I have other comedian friends that like I'm like, oh, you get my style.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. We could do it like how we could cut all this out too if we're just like.
I mean, we can. I don't care if they know we have a writing group.
Yeah,
just don't take our children's book ideas.
Yeah, I don't know how entertaining it is to talk about the setup of our writing group.
You and me and whoever else. We'll get Nutella lattes. We'll bring our notebooks.
Boom.
I love it.
I like prompts. I like writing to a prompt sometimes. That's always fun.
That's good because it gets you out of your comfort zone too.
Yeah, and then. You guys like me and you can come with the same prompt and see our different stories.
God, I love that. Let's start doing that. Not that we don't have enough time. We'll do writing prompts and podcasts.
Why not? What else are we doing in life?
What else are we doing? What's happening?
We went pretty far from eating Pawpaw's ashes. That's
we like woo,
we went, wow,
man.
boo.
I was like, we have nothing to talk about.
Yeah, we thought we didn't. We just
college. We started talking about college.
We're good banterers.
We are.
We have a flow. Me and
I know some of the stuff we were talking about earlier over coffee. I was like, oh, this would be good for the podcast. But now I don't really remember anything we talked about. I do, but I don't.
I'll just tell you guys. Here's a good thing about me and Emily. Here, I'll tell you. Me and Emily, we had a unrecorded. We'll call it unrecorded podcast over Nutella lattes.
The VIP,
and Emily and I both have such bad memories that we may have that conversation again on this podcast in no time. And then,
I remember the stuff we talked about that we don't want to talk about on air. But then there was other stuff we talked about that I was like, we were talking about, Broadway. we were talking about Broadway.
Yeah, I like Broadway. I used to go to a lot of Broadway. Here's a funny thing about Broadway. So years ago, I had a friend that would always get a lot of those preview tickets for me, and he knew I liked acting and all that stuff, and so he'd give them to me because he wasn't always going. I'd take them, go to like these weeknight shows, and it was like without a doubt, if I loved the show, it was critically panned. I'm like, that's the greatest show I've ever seen, and then it's like critically panned, and it's out in like weeks.
Oh, that sucks.
But like, you can't help what you like.
No.
Right? It is what it is.
Did you ever see Blue Man Group?
No.
That's a fun.
I think they're done.
That's fun.
Right?
I don't think so. I think they're forever. Are they?
I thought I heard they.
Then I'm like, is it? We could Google this. I'm going to Google it now. The play that goes wrong is fantastic.
Yeah, that looks fun.
That is, I would go see that again. Book of Mormon we were talking about. You have to go see. I
wanna
love
see
that.
Book of Mormon.
It was great.
Last play I went to see was in New York at the Circle Theater. I got to see Sam Rockwell, Lawrence Fishburne, in
what was this?
Buffalo. What was it? Buffalo 66, was it?
Sure.
Well, it's a great, like, it all takes place in this like antique shop. So it was great. They set up this whole antique shop as the center. And I was just like in the round. It was like front row.
Oh, that's awesome.
I bought it for myself for my birthday. I went by myself.
You were right. That ends February 2nd, Joe.
Yeah, I heard that.
Why? I'm going to be in Savannah. I can't even go. Anyway, I saw it once. Go this weekend if you can.
Oh, American Buffalo, not Buffalo 66.
I was with you. I wasn't paying attention.
That's
I was being sad about Blue Man Group.
That's fine. Yeah, I'm probably not going to go see Blue Man Group.
It was like you could go to Vegas and see
Yeah,
it.
actually, yeah. That was the thing. When I was in Vegas performing, there was a lot of shows I wanted to see, but your shows are at the same time, so you can't go see shows in Vegas.
Right. If you're in Vegas, you're doing comedy out there.
yeah,
No.
they all start at 8:00, and you're on 8:00. But I'll go out.
First world problems.
First world problems. But I like regular plays more than I like musicals.
Really?
I mean, I like musicals. Okay.
I love Chicago.
I think musicals are okay. I've never seen Chicago.
Have you seen the movie?
No.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's kind of girly, maybe.
I think that's probably why.
I'm like love like that like time period and stuff like that.
Like I had a girl I hung with years ago who was she liked Moulin Rouge.
Oh, I like the movie. It's weird, but I like it.
Yeah.
Did you see the new Great Gatsby?
The new one?
Well,
the
newer.
DiCaprio one?
Yeah, because that's the same as
Yeah,
Moulin
it was
Rouge.
okay.
I like it. It's wacky.
Yeah. I feel
I
like
love that book.
I've never read the book. I've seen the movie, but like I said,
It's not a
I know
long
the
book.
principle of the book.
Do you though?
I do.
you?
I mean, I've talked about it.
Do you want to talk about name symbolism of some of these characters?
Yes.
I can hit you with the I'm not going to talk about this in the podcast. We're going to lose so many.
Oh yeah, we're not going to do this on the podcast.
There's a gay scene in Gatsby.
What you think that's?
No, I'm just
I
telling
thought
you.
were
There's
trying
some
to sell it like, hey, Joe, I'm just letting you know.
gay scene.
Well, I'm in.
Whoa. My kind of college professor picked that out. He's like, the gay scene? No, actually, my high school teacher told me, and I told my professor in college. He's like, there's a gay scene in Gatsby. I'm like, let me show you. And then he was like, oh, my goodness. It's like, I taught the professor.
See, there's a lot of books I want to read, like a lot of classics I want to read that now
Now
that it's good.
I loved it. I absolutely. There's two endings to it because Charles Dickens got paid by the word. He released it in newspaper clippings.
Okay.
So that's why he's a very wordy writer.
Gotcha.
This is very nerdy. I'm so sorry, but I love all this stuff. I loved that book, but I haven't read it since high school. I want to reread it. Maybe I'll do that. I'll start doing that.
Rereading the classics.
Reread Great Expectations.
Yeah, I want to read because I feel like I'm more like chill now. I'm less. Like I feel like I'm more of a relaxed person.
So what do you want to reread? Like the classics?
Not reread. Read.
Oh,
like
read.
some
Read
classics that
I was trying to give you some credit, Joe.
Yeah.
Reread
the
classics.
I
can give you a list.
I would love a list. I want to read some of the classics like
Catcher in the Rye. You ever read that?
Oh, that's my favorite book.
You've read that
many
one?
times.
Okay. How about
as a kid I just related with that book
you
so much.
Related to somebody who hired a prostitute to come to his room to talk to him?
No, but the young kid,
the young boy Holden. Yes.
I mean, going to the city and like I just
feeling lost
and
feeling. It's a great book.
It spoke to me, and I love reading it now as I'm older. Especially the
scene where he hires the prostitute to come to his room to talk to him. Then he has this image of shooting up the elevator. It's a very dark book, but it's great.
Yeah, I remember liking Huck Finn when I was a kid.
I never read that.
Yeah, I like that better than Tom Sawyer because it was more like dark. I guess.
Did you ever read Fahrenheit 451?
No.
That's a good one. That's a little weird.
Mm-hmm.
Ray Bradbury. You might like that one.
Yeah, I think that's because that's like one of the more popular ones that's on like the list of things.
1984.
I started
George
it.
Orwell? That's
I
a great book.
started it. Got bored. But also it was, I get bored. Like it's tough for me, like with reading. It's like, you gotta get me
Did you ever read To Catch a Mockingbird?
in school.
To Kill a Mockingbird. To Catch a Mockingbird. Oh my
I
God.
read that in school.
Ooh,
But
you did read that one.
Yeah.
That's
That's one I did read. But anyway.
Why did I say To Catch a
To catch
Predator?
Maybe because you were thinking Catcher in the Rye. And,
I was. Thank you.
know.
To Kill a Mockingbird.
But
But Great Expectation. Not a Great Expectations, yes, but Great Gatsby is a great book, and it's an easy.
read.
It's an easy read.
I've read about Great Gatsby. Like I saw the movie. I understand the themes of it, which are interesting to me and stuff. You know what it is like reading with me as I got older, because I guess I always had this thing in me like. Because it's of like school, like I gotta retain everything. So like now I just like to enjoy the journey.
Yeah.
And if you ask me questions about it and I don't know, I don't care anymore. You know what I mean? It's like I want to enjoy it when I'm in it.
I can give you so many books to read. Not even like classics either.
No.
I'm a big James Patterson girl because they're so formulaic and it's like they'll flow real fast.
I was reading because I fiction. I don't do as much fiction. I do nonfiction. I told you I do a lot of audiobooks on Audible, so I could do that while I'm driving. So there's that series on Amazon that I liked with Titus Welliver. Why can't I think of the name?
You could just make up a name. I'd be like, yes, that sounds.
Bosch. It was a series.
Bosch.
So I started reading the Bosch books. He's an LA detective.
Okay.
And stuff like that. So it was cool seeing the series first. And when I started dipping into the books, now I have a visual of all these characters.
That's pretty
And it's
cool.
just fun, easy reading, like vacation reading. But like I think I've said this to you before, like I like to read on vacation and I like to research a book that takes place in wherever destination I'm at because I like to picture like I'm there, I'm in the environment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What's your next vacation?
Not sure.
You got to get one on the books.
I need to get one on the books. That's on. I need a vacation. I need a lot.
You deserve a vacation.
Deserve a vacation. I'll figure it out one of these days. I'll book a vacation.
Have you ever been to Savannah?
No.
I'm doing it this weekend.
That's
Again,
exciting.
I've been there for 24 hours 10 years ago. So I'm excited to go back. It's an old city,
Yeah.
but it's very pretty. It's right on the water.
Mm-hmm.
And like the cobblestone streets and
Wait a minute.
it would be cool. It's like a very cute little. There's some history down there, and
I have some road trips I want to take
if I was like,
in the U.S.
yeah, if I was like, hey Joe, I don't know why I would be like, hey Joe, take a week off work, go on a little adventure in the States. Where would you want to hit?
Well, my first actually something I want to maybe do this year if I can is I want to go like New England towns like Newport, Rhode Island, Maine.
I want to go to Maine so bad.
I figure I go up to Maine.
Yep.
And then boom,
Work
boom,
your way
boom,
down.
Work my way down.
You've been to Boston.
I've been to Boston.
I love Boston.
I basically want to go to Maine, Newport, Rhode Island. Newport, Rhode Island's got a lot of Portuguese people, so I imagine it's got some great Portuguese restaurants.
Have you been to Mystic, Connecticut?
No, we talked about that.
Oh, we
one
did.
time.
I love
Mystic.
Mystic. That's a good one. Don't go to Mystic Pizza.
I just want to I like road trips. There's a lot of places I want to see in the United States. I'd like to, like my friend flew out to Colorado, then rented a little RV and went to all like the stuff out there.
Nice. Okay.
So instead of driving all the way out there,
Right.
fly out, then you go see all
I
that.
love that.
You know, it's just I like stuff like that.
I have on my bingo board. I want to take a little road trip this year. So your New England road trips, maybe I'll do something like that.
Yeah, for sure.
I just don't know how to pump my own gas.
Oh, it's easy.
Is it? I feel like I'll fuck it up.
I was a gas station attendant when I was.
Were you? Of course you were.
Yeah, or we used to say petroleum distribution engineers.
That's fantastic. New Jersey and Oregon are the only two states that you can't pump your own gas. And I think Oregon you can in certain areas now.
Oh, okay.
So New Jersey, it's illegal.
Yeah, I still do it sometimes if the machine will let me. I'm like, I can't wait for this guy. I gotta go.
I just wait again because I don't know what I would be doing.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do it.
Yeah, we'll go to New England, get some lobster bisque.
Take the podcast on the road.
Cool. Yes, we're gonna take the podcast on the road. We're gonna go soup weather season.
Soup weather.
And we're gonna get her some lobster bisque.
Yes. Oh my God. When I went to San Francisco, I had clam chowder in the bread bowl. Oh,
Yeah. Do you have any news stories?
I do. I do have a news story. Let's pull up the text messages. Where is Joe Fernandes? There he is. This is a nice light one to end on. Okay. Want a healthier morning routine? The best 5 things experts recommend doing and 5 you can skip.
Okay.
I love articles like this because I'm like, oh, what am I doing wrong with my life in the morning? How am I starting my day off incorrectly?
Okay, like, what am I doing wrong with my life?
So many things. All right. So there's a lot of BS. It's like blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to read anything. Okay. 5 good for you things to do after you wake up. Number 1, get some physical activity. My brain went the wrong direction. There are lots of benefits to working out, or at the very least, stretching or walking in the morning. Well, stretching, I could see where stretching would be. I don't have time to work out in the morning because I have to be at work by 7. And no offense, I'm already waking up at 5. I'm not waking up because I could do yoga in the morning.
Yeah.
Do you work out in the morning? You work out at night.
I work out mostly at night.
After work.
After work, I go to the gym. On the weekends, I hike in the morning.
Apparently, we're doing it wrong. Apparently, you're supposed to work out in the morning first thing.
I got no time for that.
I know. Number 2, wash your face. I also wash my face at night. Maybe I could start. I could see how that would wake you up.
You don't wash your, wash your face?
In the morning? I don't. I put lotion on my face. My face is clean. I shower the night before.
Oh, okay.
So I shower at night. So my favorite thing, like when I get home from recording this podcast, I'm going to get in the shower. I'm going to take 2 melatonin. I'm going to take a hot shower. It's the best part of my day. And then I'm going to go lay in my bed.
Nice.
Yeah.
I sometimes do both. I'll shower at night and in the morning.
So on the weekends, I'll do that. In the morning, I have, like, if I wake up and I'm like, had a crazy sweaty night, then yes, I will shower in the morning. But
I needed to wake up, or else I'm just like, I just can't get with it.
No, I get ready in the morning. I do my hair and my makeup and everything while I drink a protein shake, and that's how I wake up. And then I drink my coffee when I get to work.
Yeah, I wake up, coffee, shower, protein shake.
So I switch it.
Make my lunch.
Nice. I do that. I'll do that when I get home.
And if my dog's feeling it, we'll go on a walk in the neighborhood.
See, that's nice.
But sometimes he's not feeling it, and then I
could see doing that.
We like, depending on how quick I try to, if it's nice out,
right?
I try to get together quick so we can have a decent walk.
I wonder if I would look stupid if I just went for a walk around my development by myself in the morning. But I wouldn't mind taking a little brisk walk before I went to work in the morning.
Yeah, see, my neighborhood, I live on a lake. Okay. A lot of people are doing it in the morning. It's just like a lot of people walking around the lake.
I live in an apartment complex. People be like, what the fuck?
You're walking.
All right, so wash your face.
Okay, so we have
stretch, like active, something
active. Wash your face.
Okay.
Those are the first 2.
Don't brush your teeth right after breakfast. Honey, I gotta go to work.
Why? Wait, why?
I brush my teeth like 7 times a day if I can.
I have a little toothbrush I keep with me.
Some people want to brush first thing, while others prefer waiting until after breakfast to clean their teeth. What do dentists say? The ADA, the American Dental Association, recommends brushing twice a day for 2 minutes, but doesn't cite a timing preference. So what do you tell? I'm going to still brush them after I eat. I don't agree with that one.
Brush them, then eat, and then wait till the end of the day to brush them again.
Scrape your tongue. I have started doing that.
I do that.
I like that. Yeah. I don't have I just do it with the toothbrush, but they do have these tongue scrapers.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, my gag reflexes.
I used to use like a spoon back in the day.
Wow. Getting creative.
Yeah. Well, no.
Better than a fork?
Well, the girl, I didn't even, so in like my early 20s, I lived with a girl and I didn't even know about tongue scraping. And then she's like, you don't scrape your tongue? I'm like, no. So she started showing me with like a teaspoon. Okay. And I was like,
that's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying back in my 20s I lived with a girl and I didn't even know. Like, you didn't even know. You're like, I didn't even know I was living with her.
I woke up with him. Where'd you come from?
This one I think I should do more. Drink lemon water. I drink water all day, but I've heard lemon water in the morning. So it says, after a night of sleep, the body is naturally dehydrated. Lemon water helps rehydrate and kickstart your metabolism.
Okay.
I could see, maybe I'll buy some lemons, do some lemon water. I have been drinking more water because it was on my bingo board. And I do feel like I feel a lot better. I feel less bloated and my skin looks better.
Okay.
from drinking more water. Not lemon water,
Yeah.
just regular water.
Yeah, I try to get more. What I've been doing is the like decaf chamomile tea when I get into the office in the morning.
Okay.
Because I get my water in, but without getting like sucked dry with the caffeine.
Right.
No lemon though. I put a lot of honey in it.
Honey's great for you too. Here are 5 things you can skip. So I was not impressed completely with that list.
Cool.
Maybe I might
That was the last one?
That was the last one. I might do the lemon water. I might splash some cold water on my face. I can do those 2 things. And I think stretching. So, okay.
I don't stretch at all.
Tomorrow morning, I'm going to stretch.
I should start stretching. I
Stretching
always think of
feels
that
good.
when I'm working out. I'm like, should I be stretching before I run? But like,
Should be stretching after too. I don't
And
stretch
after?
enough either.
I don't stretch at all.
I used to do yoga. I was a yoga teacher and I used to be very flexible. Now I'm like,
My buddy who
everything
gave me
hurts.
that meditation app's big yoga guy.
okay. Yoga's great. That's one of my bingo board things too, is to do more yoga. So maybe I'll start by doing a little like 5-minute yoga stretch in the morning.
Yeah.
And then I'll report back to you and let you know how it goes.
We were going to do a yoga show at the studio one time
There you go.
years ago, but it went away. The person who was going to host it said she didn't want to no more. We're like, okay then.
There's more time. Listen, find somebody else. All right, 5 things you can skip. 1, taking supplements you don't need. I don't really take anything.
No.
Number 2, drinking juice. So like orange juice people.
That's all sugar though.
It's all sugar. That's why. Over the top skin routines. I just put like
Skip over the top skin routine?
skip over the top skin routines. I just put like moisturizer on in the morning. That's it.
Okay.
And then I put my makeup on.
Yeah.
You too? Moisturizer and the makeup?
No makeup. Especially in the winter because I get like the dry skin.
Yeah.
But like I
Cold plunges. Who's doing a cold plunge in the morning?
that's a lot.
Massage.
I never cold plunged in my life.
Oil pulling.
Oil pulling?
Do you know what that is?
No.
Oil pulling is the practice of swishing oil around in your mouth for potential oral health benefits. Has existed for thousands of years. I have never in my life heard of this before. While TikTokers claim it whitens teeth, prevents gum disease, and more, experts aren't convinced, and the ADA doesn't recommend doing it. Its overall effectiveness remains questionable due to the need for more comprehensive research and standardized routines.
Okay.
Okay, so I won't be doing any of that anyway. I was never doing any of that.
No.
But there are TikTok. I don't know if you're on this end of TikTok, but there's TikTokers that have like a 10-step skin routine, morning routine, and I'm like,
That's a lot of steps.
what? That's too many steps.
Yeah.
Too many steps. Like
Yeah.
there's people that are like teachers, and they're like, I wake up at 4 a.m, and here's my routine. Why are you waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning?
That's
Too early.
way too early.
Way too early.
I mean, to wash your face. Be like,
But they like work out and like listen, like that's fine. And I get it. Like they're 20-something years old. They live by themselves. I totally get it. And honestly, when I was single and living on my own, I did take a 6 o'clock yoga class before work and I loved it. It was great. Now I have a child at home.
yeah.
I have to also get her ready for school.
Yeah. There's
It's
not
not-
a lot of time in the morning.
There's not enough time. That's why I stay up late and I make lunches the night before. I do a lot the night before so that in the morning I can kind of like not rush so much.
Yeah. I feel like morning anxiety could be considered cardio. You like
Yeah.
wake up like,
I'm going to be late. Start the car.
I do meditate now in the morning. Now
There you
that's
go.
a good thing.
So you meditate, I'll stretch, and we'll compare notes.
We'll compare notes. Yeah, we want to try an improv before we go?
Yes.
Before we end this episode?
One word
So
improv.
should we do it
Yes,
just the
I like
old
the-
school way or with the prompts?
No, I like the prompt.
Okay, let me
We
get the
were talking
prompts
about
ready.
prompts earlier.
One of these days, I'm going to have my things in like some sort of order.
Never. Why would you do that? You're going to have a lot of editing to do on this episode.
I can't believe.
If you would have told me that you would not be able to find.
Oh, there we go.
Found it?
Yeah, can I get a?
Can I get a what?
Okay, so improv suggestions at the touch of a button. So we'll go location, relationship, and a word.
Okay.
Location, yoga class.
Hey, that's great. Okay.
Okay, relationship, union leader, CEO.
I don't know if I
We have to
understand
try the
that
relationship
one. Yeah, can we? That might be
Kid, parent.
better.
Okay. Word, dismissive.
Okay.
Okay, so it's
Yoga class, parent, kid.
kid, dismissive.
Okay.
So we'll just act out a scene, maybe, I guess. Or is it gonna be like, we're not gonna do If You Would Have Told Me.
No.
Be like,
do you want to be the parent or the kid?
I'll be the kid.
Okay.
Since you're a parent.
Okay.
Okay. So you start.
Please. Wait.
Wait,
Are we
can
improv? I thought we were doing one word.
Oh yeah, we can't do one word. We'd have to do like a whole scene. So one word.
Let's do one word.
Okay. All right, we'll do one word. How we do? We're bad at this.
Let's just do. I don't know.
How did we do this the last time?
I don't know.
We're gonna do a second episode though.
I know.
Okay.
We're powering through.
We're powering through. Okay.
I don't know. How did we do this last time?
All right. We'll just do one word at a time. Ready? One
day
at
yoga
class.
I
was
really
talking
to
my
child
about
yoga
flexes,
but
she
didn't
want
to
flex
her
back.
So
I
told
her
to
flex
her
stomach,
and
then
she
made
herself
lunge
forward
towards
the
wall,
and
I
told
her
to
get
out
of
the
house.
We tried.
We may have to go back to our old school. I have to learn how to improv better. We have to take improv classes.
You should know better. I know.
We
should take an improv class.
Yeah, the last time we did that, we
should do that.
Okay.
And then we could talk about it on the podcast.
Perfect.
Right? We got to find an improv class.
So many plans we have.
So many plans.
This is a weird episode, people. I understand.
I think it'll be good.
This episode,
I think there's good bloopers. And
we
then,
have good bloopers. We you never know because you're just having a conversation what it's going to be. But yeah.
If you liked what you heard today, this morning, whenever you're listening to it, feel free to email us at ifyoutoldme@gmail.com.
Yes.
Or hit us up on Instagram or TikTok or Facebook or any of those things.
Yeah.
Or if you have
our stuff.
Yeah. If you have Joe's number, text him. If you have my number, text me.
Yeah.
If you don't, we're not giving it to you.
Yeah.
So don't ask.
Yeah. So thanks for joining us for another episode. We really appreciate your support.
Yeah.
We have fun doing this.
Mm-hmm.
If you can really just share our reels and like try and get the word out for us, if you're a fan of ours, people tell me, like even at the show the other night, my show Saturday night, this girl Danielle came up to me. She goes, "I listen to your podcast all the time in the morning."
I love that.
She goes, "I love it." It's so funny because people tell me they see our reels and love them, but I know they're not liking them. And I'm like, you gotta like them. Because the weird thing about TikTok now, it shows who watched your thing.
It does?
Oh yeah,
on TikTok?
Yeah, you can see who watched your reel, and you can see, wow, they didn't like it.
Guys, we gotta like it, share it.
Just hit the
That
thing.
does help us a lot.
It does help a lot.
Yeah.
The little save thing helps. Just save it. Who cares?
Save it.
Yeah,
makes us feel good.
Anything. Just helps us get into the algorithm more.
We're really depressed. We need you to like our stuff.
Please like me.
We need validation.
We need some validation. Mm-hmm. Okay, we're going to wrap up this episode. Thank you all for watching another episode of If You Would Have Told Me. Bye.
Thanks.